you said communication is important in a relationship, but
Yeah,
a lot of people communicate by screaming at each other.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
like, what does it mean to communicate effectively and well?
yeah. That's a great question. What does it mean to communicate effectively and well? I think I think to communicate effectively, it's important that like there's a giver and a receiver of that communication. There's a sender and there's a receiver when we communicate. And to effectively communicate, we need to be able to perceive ourselves and that other person as equal in the relationship. There's
Mm.
no one better. There's no one that knows more. It's just we love each other. We respect each other's differences when there's an argument or a dispute about politics or religion or sex or whatever the topic is, finances or the house or food, whatever it's about. It's important that we respect ourselves and respect our partner.
Mm.
That in it, when we're like feeling into, well, how would I like to be treated, and how can I treat my partner? How can I express my emotions of anger and frustration or um, resentment? Maybe like some people might have a bit of resentment if they haven't spoken for a few days or a week. So it's like I would advertise to like communicate, obviously, but it's being able to respect that other person and treating them as an equal to you. So
Mm.
it's like, how would you treat yourself? How would you treat? Right, this is me, right? So how would I treat my little girl with love and respect? And I'm going to treat my husband, partner the same, right? I'm going to treat him as if like he like is of value because
Yeah.
a little child, they're of value, so is the adult.
Yep.
um that's how I view it. So it's perceiving it, the relationship as equal,
Mm.
and then you're able to get the message across a lot clearer, um and also communicating in their love language as well, and expressing the emotion in anger in healthy ways. So sometimes what I do is I'll take a step away to process the information or to
Mm.
process frustration or the angry energy in the air or whatever. And I'll
Mm.
come in my room here and I might meditate and do some breath work. I might do some EFT tapping. So if
Mm.
you just want to look into EFT tapping, it taps on the meridians, and just helps to release emotions.
Mm.
Um,
I've actually gotten a lot of value out of EFT tapping, and
yeah, same. I love it.
yeah, I think if I think meridians might be if you were like a kind of rational like atheistic person, you could say that like maybe there are quite a few nerve endings there, and I mean I think a lot
Yeah,
of people have I think pointed out that like chakras, for instance, are actually in Western science we would say they're like bundles of nerves in those areas, and then
yeah,
perhaps because there are bundles of nerves in those areas, I say with the meridians maybe there's and maybe the meridians like your sinuses are around there, right? So maybe
yeah.
like tapping on them. For me, anyway, I found that, and somebody has said that perhaps EFT tapping. So I think let's say you're low in confidence, you might tap and you say like, I am strong, I am bold, I'm
Yeah,
worthy, I love myself, stuff like that.
yeah,
And there might just be some value in being in the present because when you're tapping on your face, you can't be anywhere else.
yeah,
Like you're in that tap. You're
yeah,
everything's focused on that tap.
yeah. That's exactly right. And some of the things I might say, because it's important to acknowledge the anger or the frustration or the hurt or whatever. I'll be like, I feel. Well, for me, it's usually like I feel scared or I feel unworthy right now. I have a
Mm,
lot of fear going on this podcast because I didn't really organize myself because I just want to be myself and
great.
really, really be in flow and present and just serve. There's so
Yeah.
much value here today, for you and for the people. And so you tap in on these different meridian points, like just above your eye, below your eye. And then I say, and I still completely love and accept myself. It's okay. And then I feel scared and afraid and upset or fearful if I say the wrong thing. Yeah. But I still completely love and accept myself. That's sort of
Mm.
how I do it, uh, because it's still acknowledging that emotion and then
That's
using
interesting.
it.
There's a lot of positivity there. Like I like that you accept yourself no matter what. Um,
Yeah.
and there are all these different parts of us, right? We think of ourselves a lot of times as like a whole, as like a unit, but actually we're also made up of many different, sometimes conflicting parts. Like there's a part of you that wants to get a donut, and there's a part of you that wants to go for a run, and doesn't want to get a donut, wants to be skinny. And so like I think it's very important to treat each of those parts like they are as important, like they're all valuable and important, because ultimately they all want to help you. Now maybe some of them were made when you were a kid and like they don't need to be quite the same anymore. Like the part of you, I ate a donut today. I'm not disparaging anyone who ate donuts, but I also went for a run today. But like
Yeah. I love
balance, life is all about balance.
that.
Um, but like the part of you that wants to eat a donut, maybe it wants you to feel safe and calm and like and satisfied. And that's the best way it knows how to help you. And now maybe you can talk to that part and say, hey, you don't need to eat donuts all the time. Maybe is there a different way that this part could help me feel safe and satisfied and calm? And maybe it'll give you an answer if you actually treat it like it's its own entity, which sounds a bit weird to some people. Maybe it'll give you a response. It'll say, well, I love doing yoga. And so maybe you can say to it like, well, instead of craving a donut next time, can you crave yoga? And maybe it'll say yes, and then you can keep working with these parts. But like I think battling with ourselves is not the right way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah. So when you say battling with ourselves, what do you mean specifically when you say that?
For instance, if you were to say like, you said I'm scared, like you were tapping, and then at the end you
Yeah.
said I accept myself. But if you were saying I'm scared, I shouldn't be scared, it's wrong
Yeah.
to be scared, what do I have to be afraid of, all that stuff, it's like you're actually just you have the fear part of you, and then you're
Yeah.
just creating the second part to like get angry at the fear part of you and try to block the fear part of you and try to like,
Yeah.
and then what happens is you get tired, you get stressed, and that secondary part might not work quite as well. It might melt away. And not to mention that these two parts are taking up your energy. They're both taking up your mental energy. You only have so much mental energy. It's not infinite. And so every time you create a new part to battle the first part, you're using up more energy, and that could be spent doing wonderful things. That energy could be spent studying, working, like spending quality time with your family away from stress.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like shoving it under the carpet or hiding it and denying it, which then causes like more anger and frustration and tiredness and stress and overwhelm. And then like verbal abuse might happen for people. And like it's like this snowball effect from the top of the mountain, and it rolls down the mountain and gets bigger and bigger if we don't acknowledge that feeling or emotion or event. And if we keep hiding from it or denying it or shoving it under the carpet, it's going to have to want to come out eventually. Like the camel, there's only so much the straw on the camel's back can go for before it wants to break and it explodes. So to prevent the explosion is to do self-care practices and to self-regulate ourselves first. So sometimes, say if there's two people that are really angry at each other, like yelling, like I might be like, oh, like the toilet seat, you don't clean it the right way. Oh, but you didn't clean the kitchen. It could be something as basic as that. So then what I tend to do is like have a shower to cleanse my energy, do breath work and meditation in my room. So I'm regulating my emotions myself. And then I'll process the information, and then I'll come back at the end of the day and say, listen, I'm really sorry about like getting angry and outbursting. Can we sit down and talk about this? I'm really sorry. And then like it's that equality again where we both talk it out, have a cup of tea, hug it out, I love you. And then usually we forget about it because we've solved whatever it was. Um, that could be an example on how to self-regulate. And then the co-regulation is the coming back together when all the fumes have gone, because the anger, all those powerful emotions, because they feel powerful at the time, because you get these symptoms like hot flushes and like your pupils are like dilating, your fists are going, your heart rate's going, you're so angry, you just want to burst. And then from there, it takes 60 to 90 seconds to feel that emotion of anger or happiness, whatever emotion it is, and then we then choose to keep feeling it. So it's important that we find our own personal outlet, like boxing with a tree, or like I like to yell sometimes in my car, or I'll sing and dance to just shift the energy and the emotion, or I'll go into the shower, have a bit of cry, or scream it out by myself. and then I'll come back, because then I don't have that angry energy anymore. I have more grounded energy, and I'm more open and receptive to listen to the other person and to see it from their perspective now. So remembering that anger or the frustration or the hurt or the happiness is usually an acute reaction from a trigger that's happened a long time ago or has happened recently, and then we feel it for no more than 90 seconds, and then we choose to keep that neural pathway going in our brain, that old pattern. You know what I mean?